Greetings, I'm Tim of Govberg, and welcome to the world of Grand Seiko. Today, I'll be your guide to the proper usage, care, and maintenance of your Grand Seiko SBGE039 Spring Drive GMT Black Ceramic Limited Edition. Now, it's important to note that this is an automatic winding watch, but should it run down, it can be manually wound to restart it. Take the crown, flush to the case, turn it counterclockwise until you feel a distinct pop. As it moves out of its threaded sleeve, you'll feel and hear the pop. Now it's in its default position for winding. Turn it in a clockwise direction approximately 30 times. That'll be sufficient to start the advance of the seconds hand. The movement begins to operate, and at this point you can put the watch on the wrist, and the natural course of kinetic energy on the wrist with the case back winding rotor will keep the watch in operation if worn daily. Now, should you wish to wind the watch to its maximum rated power reserve of 72 hours, watch the power reserve indicator at 7 o'clock, continue turning the crown in a clockwise direction. Now, once it reaches the end of its travel, you can feel free to give it a few extra turns just to be sure it's fully topped off. There is a safeguard against accidentally overwinding the watch. It cannot be overwound by automatic or manual means. Now, there are two additional crown positions associated with setting of the watch. Now, the outermost stops the advance of the seconds hand. Now the watch's operation has been halted, and you can move all of the indications, local hour and minutes, as well as the second time zone indicated by the yellow arrow, and you can move them all in sync. In fact, you can stop the seconds hand at the index at 12, advance the minutes hand to the next nearest minute, and against a reference time such as an atomic clock, wait for the reference to catch up, then push the crown in, resume the advance of the seconds hand. Now you've synchronized the watch precisely. Now, because this is a GMT, you need the ability to set the local hour hand and the reference time to separate times. And the second position between outermost and innermost for winding allows you to set the local hour hand at center. Now, note two things. First, the local hand is the time where you are. That is why, as it advances, it drives the date wheel. Moreover, you'll note that the seconds hand continues to advance, as does the minute hand and the second time zone. Jumping forward or backwards as you use this time zone feature will not affect the isochronism or precision of the watch. Now, once you're finished setting and winding the watch, apply gentle inward pressure to the crown and thread it in a clockwise direction until it stops. This is necessary both for physical security and to assure watertight hermeticity as rated from the factory. Now, it's important to note there are three principal hazards that face your watch. Of course, there is water resistance. That's the biggest and the foremost. So always return the crown to its position, fully threaded into its sleeve. Now, a note on water resistance and leather. No leather strap is water resistant, as leather is a natural porous material that degrades in the presence of moisture, so always swap out to an appropriate non-water reactive strap such as a textile, a rubber strap, or a bracelet before taking the watch into water. Now, otherwise, this watch is rated to 10 bar or 100 meters, which Grand Seiko rates as sufficient for most waterborne activities short of professional diving. Now, it's also important to note that you can help prevent accidental drowning of your watch. Always take the crown and thread it in completely before you go into the water, and keep the crown and its functions disused when the watch is submerged or when there's water on the case, as failing to obey this precaution can allow water to bypass the seals and enter the watch with catastrophic consequences. Now, water resistance is also important because, unlike the mechanical specifications of the timepiece, water resistance is not a static feature. Over time, it will ebb as seals age and lubricants degrade. So Grand Seiko recommends having your watch water tested with a Grand Seiko authorized service center minimally every 24 months. This will be sufficient to ensure that the factory-rated hermeticity is retained or alert you to diminution beyond that point. Now, it's also important to note that alongside water, shock and magnetism are concerns. Avoid powerful magnets which can alter the precision of the timepiece. Powerful magnets can be found in refrigerator doors, in the closures of wallets and purses, high-powered wiring looms, speakers, subwoofers, and of course professional MRI equipment. Keep the watch remote from all of these. Now, with respect to shock, avoid activities such as baseball, golf, tennis, dirt biking, mountain biking, and firearms marksmanship while using the watch, as these high-impact concussion activities can damage a fine caliber. Now, finally, with respect to service, Grand Seiko recommends a factory overhaul every 3 years. Now, it's important that these be performed exclusively at an authorized service center, as these agencies alone have the trained personnel, specialized equipment, and original Grand Seiko replacement parts to maintain the integrity of your watch, both as an instrument and as an investment. Moreover, only these agencies are able to back all parts and service labor invested with a Grand Seiko factory service warranty. To learn more about the proper care and usage of this or any Grand Seiko model, visit our experts at govbergwatches.com and text, email, or call them. They'll be happy to walk you through the ownership process, care, and maintenance of this or any Grand Seiko product.